Hey yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Creator Chats, where we talk to our favorite content creators. So that's streamers, VTubers, cosplayers, content creators, musicians, you name it, that are on Gank, or maybe they're not on Gank yet, but we want to learn just how they became successful in their field and how they monetize their art. So once again, I'm your host, Cholo Tolentino, and I just want to welcome everybody to another fun episode today. So today we have someone who is actually a friend of mine and a fellow musician. So if you guys remember, I was also a musician before I started making content as a cosplayer. And yes, I really admire this person's voice and their talent. I've actually been in the karaoke with her, and she absolutely dominated the karaoke when we were there together. And I just want to say, yeah, I'm excited to interview her and know a little bit more about her as a musician, as a songwriter, and of course, as a content creator who is dropping a new single very soon. So I got some people in the comment section right now. What's up, Mizuki and Solibo? Thanks for dropping by. And yeah, let's begin. So I would like to introduce everybody to Dion. So, what is up?
Hello.
There you are.
Hi.
Yes.
hello. Hello, everyone.
So,
Wait, how do I do this?
so okay, before we start, have you ever been interviewed online before for anything like this?
Yes, actually. So it
Okay.
usually is about music.
All right, perfect. So this is gonna be a walk in the park for you. So before we start, I just want to ask, how is your day going along? What's your day like today? How was it?
I think today was one of my least productive days. So thank you, Cholo and Gank, for having me because I feel like I'm doing something today. I swear. I don't know if I should be ashamed, but I woke up so late. And when I woke up, I just kept going back to sleep, and I kept remembering, wait, there's an interview, I should wake up. So yeah,
It's all right.
we
That's
have days like that.
We have days like that, but this is good. I'm not sad to hear that because that means you're well rested for our
Mhm.
episode today. So thank you so much for being one of our guests on the channel, and really happy and excited for you to be here. So I can't wait to learn more about you and for the audience as well. So we got some viewers in, and I hope you guys are excited as well. So in case you guys have any questions, maybe you can ask them in the comment section, and we can always, of course, go back to the comment section anytime, and we can
Mhm.
ask those questions maybe in the middle of the prepared questions that we have for Dion. So let's
Hello,
begin.
Kyle. I see Kyle there.
Yeah, I know, right? I always see him too. So
He's
it's
also
cool
in
because
music.
we have lots of mutuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's great because despite being musicians, we're always around the same circle when it comes to like streaming and gaming.
Yeah. I think the only time that we really had a proper interaction was at the karaoke that you mentioned because we're
Mm-hmm.
always passing by each other. So like we were at Pokemon Run recently, right? And
Yeah.
then yeah, and then I we just saw you from afar. I was like with the other friends in esports, and then we couldn't really say hi, or we just didn't say hi. Maybe we were so tired, but you were far. So yeah, we
Yeah,
were always
I
passing by each other.
was
So it's nice to have this interview with you.
And we were actually teaching Pokemon TCG that time. Yeah, we were official tutors for that. And we also, I think we worked on a project together. Was that the movie?
Oh yeah, I completely
Yeah.
forgot.
We
Yeah,
totally
but I don't think we were in the same day,
team.
like for the filming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we actually were in a movie together. So if you guys want to check that out, it's on Netflix. It's called GG or Good
friendly.
Game. So yeah. Uh,
Wait, I
Wait,
think different movie,
different
different movie.
movies. We were
Different
both
movies.
right.
We were in different movies.
You were in the movie with Justine.
Yeah, the friendly fire
Friendly
one.
Fire. So we always get confused because we have
Yeah.
there were two different movies here that had something to do with esports, and we're always
Yes.
bumping into each other for esports. So I got confused. So yes, if
I
you
think
want
it
to
was
check out,
released. Yeah, both movies were released in 1 year, so it's understandable that people are getting confused. Even I get confused.
yeah, I got
So
confused
yeah.
just now. So if you want to check out the movie that Dion's in,
Mhm.
that is Friendly Fire. It's on Netflix. And oh, if you guys are familiar with like Dan Gerard
Yes.
is a good friend of mine. You guys, he was also interviewed here on the channel as well, and we do lots and lots of content together. He was also in the movie as well. Also, Justine from
Yes.
Team Gank. was on the movie as well.
Yes. Yes, she's the streamer there.
Yes. All right. So, ayun. Let us begin. So, first question for those who are interested and want to get to know you more. Tell us about yourself as a musician and a songwriter.
Okay, as a songwriter, wait, something's in my eye. There. As a songwriter and a singer, I started all the way back in 2015. So I studied in Ateneo. Well, people say the Ateneo. Oh my gosh.
Well, I
Anyways,
never called it the Ateneo. I mean, I also studied in
diba? Yeah,
Ateneo.
like
We're both
people
Ateneo.
who studied there would never call it the Ateneo.
Yeah, it's just
But then people refer.
Ateneo.
Anyways, that feels like an inside thing. Anyways, so I studied in Ateneo, and then we had like an NLIT English literature class, and I was by Som Forest near the New Rizal Lib, and then we had like a project called wherein we had to write a poem, and then I started singing. Like out of nowhere, like imaginary, like imagine how musicals are, or like if you've watched musicals. I just started singing out of nowhere because I was writing a poem, and I'm like, I had this whole idea mentality that poems are lyrics, poems are songs. So I just started singing, and I thought that was a fluke. It was a weird moment for me because I've never done anything like that, and then it happened again. So I just kept on writing at some point. At first, I was like in denial. Nah, I don't think I can write songs. And then when it kept happening, so I just kind of like accepted it. At first, I just wanted to write songs. Like I just wanted to be behind the scenes.
Mhm.
So I met with one of the industry veterans. She dry Tita Bernadette. She passed away a few years ago. I love her, but yeah, she was one of my early mentors in music. She was actually the one who pushed me to sing my own songs. She said, if you are already writing your own songs and you have a nice voice, we had a meeting at Shakey's Katipunan, and then she made me. I had this notebook. And I was singing her my songs. Like, so this is how it goes, ganyan. And I think I was like in first year, second year college. It's like you have a nice timbre in your voice or timbre, and you should sing your own songs. So then I got pushed. I wrote my own songs. I released songs first online on Facebook and YouTube. So I had Para Muna, Dapat Pa Ba, Asan Ka Na. All three had their own music videos. And then it was very different. During that time, I was actually writing more of acoustic alternative songs.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I had it produced, it kind of changed into a more pop, especially
Mm.
Para Muna, and more pop. And then it got in different radio stations, mostly outside of Metro Manila. So sometimes I would go to Cebu or Bohol, and then they would be like, "Oh, you're the one who sang that song, pala." Like I remember getting dragged on Ukay Ukay, and then our family help was like, she sang that song, and
Oh my
then
god, they're
it
flexing.
was a cute moment. It was a cute moment, and then that was it. That felt like a phase for me. Even now when people start talking about Paramuna, it felt like a phase. Like I had a fan club at some point. It was called Dione because they saw me perform live in SM Fairview, and then they messaged me the next day. Some of the people who were watching, like, can we make a fan club for you? So it's called Dione It really felt like a phase, like something that felt like a fever dream during that time.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to English songs, wherein I met my producer Nicolas. Is it Nicholas? Oh my gosh, Nick Lazaro. So
Nick
I call him
Lazaro.
Nick. Yes, Nick Lazaro from La Ball Studio. He was in Twin Lobsters. He still is. And Moonwalk. So if you've heard of his music,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really,
I'm
really,
familiar
really
with
nice.
Twin Lobsters.
Yeah. So he produced 4 of my English songs. So that ended kind of like that the Youngsters Para Muna phase for me. Because it's like going to something more niche. I turned into electropop. So Nick was the perfect producer for that. Actually,
Yes.
it felt like he transformed my song. It
Mm.
was my song, but then he transformed it because at first it was more of like something groovy, slower pop song. Then he transformed it to an electropop, and I fell in love with electropop. So we had 4 songs together, and then I moved on to dark pop, wherein I met my other producers. That's Heinrich Bernabe from Mount Louis. They're under offshore, and then Tim Abbott from Brysom. So both of them, they were like a duo. They worked on 4 songs with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I went back to Nick Lazaro for my upcoming single, which is going to be a dance pop. So yeah, you heard it from acoustic alternative to mainstream pop with Paramuna, and then I had electropop with Nick, and then dark pop,
Yeah.
and then now
Phases.
that I have dance
You had
pop.
so
So it's
many
like multiple
seasons. Yeah.
phases. Yeah. So
That's
I'm really
cool.
excited about my upcoming single because if you've heard my songs before, it's so different. Like it's so different. So when I submitted my songs to some labels and some gig organizers, I would send my press kit and I'm like, don't listen to my old songs because it's really so
It's
different.
different.
So, mm-mm.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. There's a lot of musicians that also go through phases like that. One of my favorite bands actually is Panic at the Disco, and every album Panic released ever since they started was always a different sound, right? You had like a Fever You Can't Sweat Out, and then like Pretty Odd was like directly after that, then was night and day straight up, like different like sounds. So it's cool. It's cool that we get that like you're going back to sort of a little bit of your roots, or like the sound that you fell in love with Nick Lazaro. And yeah, I have a somebody has a question. Are you more comfy singing English songs or Tagalog songs?
I would say English songs, but then I like discovering my creativity with Tagalog songs.
Mm.
I feel like because I speak English a lot every day. Like I'm very fluent in both. My first language is Filipino, but then in terms of singing, I listen to more English songs, so it felt natural for me to keep on writing English songs. But with Filipino, I feel more challenged to connect with the listeners.
Mm.
That's what I think. But I always write for myself. Like even if I dedicate it to someone else, I really, really hate releasing songs that I'm not happy with. Like, so it has to be something that I'm really happy with. I'm like my greatest hater. So yes, Filipino or English songs, they're different for me, but at the same time my songwriting process is almost the same.
Yeah, I get what you mean because again, I myself also am a musician. I was when I was back in high school when I was in Ateneo, I used to be part of music industry, and it was interesting. And just like you, um, everyone was doing acoustic. Actually, everyone was doing acoustic back in high school, grade school when I was making music. I was the one of the first people to like really use FL Studio. I was like using FL Studio. I was
FL,
doing pop. I was doing
Ableton.
electro pop. Also, I was doing a lot of R&B stuff, which was not it's not something because when you're in high school you want to be able to present and show people what you do, right? So
Mm-hmm.
usually people going around with a guitar, but the music that I was making, very similar to yours, you can't really like parade it around with a guitar because you have this whole effective thing that you have like the samples and everything, MIDI instruments to be able to really show them what it is that you make in terms of like the whole picture of the sound that you make, right? So, ayun. So, I'm curious. Let's go to my next question, which is, all right, clearly you are balls deep in music and you are really, really invested in this and you really, really want to make this, like your future. And I love that. I love
Mm-hmm.
seeing musicians growing and like being so in it. But I'm curious, when you were younger, what was your childhood dream? Like, was it honestly always to be a musician?
No.
What was
So
it?
before I say it, I would perform a lot already. If you guys know Riverbanks in Marikina, my
Yes.
mom would fill it up with thousands of people because she was in the business of selling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then there were a lot of people under her. So it was like thousands. Puno yung, where the Changes are.
Yes.
Napupuno yun ng
I
mga
actually
tao.
live
Like, it's,
along that area,
yeah.
so I'm familiar.
Oh, okay. So you know that very well. And then I would, during my time, wow, when I was like around 3 or 4, that was the peak of Rosalinda and Hey, wait, no, it's not Marimar, but Rosalinda. So I would like perform with my umbrella. Oh my gosh, how old am I? Just guess. Anyways, it's not a secret. So after that, I love performing. Okay, I already love performing. I just never saw it as my future when I was a child because my mom is like my greatest role model.
Mm.
Like I idolize her. She's like a, oh my gosh, she's a goddess to me. Like that's how I saw her because of all the people working with her under her. So she's a businesswoman. I wanted to be a businesswoman and I would
Mm.
pretend. So this is one of the tables because she has multiple tables in the house. I live with her, my family. And usually all these tables would be filled with papers and everything. So I basically just arbored this table because I wanted to puesto here downstairs. Anyways, I would pretend to be her. So I would have like a notebook and be like by myself, okay? And this isn't something I can remember. People would like start talking, telling me like the people who saw me as a child would be like, you used to do this as a child. Like you would pretend that you're in a meeting. So
Hmm.
that was me. Like imagine a small child on an office chair and then pretending to have a meeting with no one. So yeah,
Okay.
businesswoman. That's
You
it.
wanted
Sorry,
to
it was
be
a
a
long story,
businesswoman.
but yeah, but it's just a crazy. I don't
Reverse,
know.
yo. This is so funny because it's
Path.
usually the reverse, right? So like, you have these kids who want to become pop stars or musicians when they grow up, and then they end up as business people. Ikaw, baliktad.
I have business then. I have business din naman. Pero music is really my main
Yeah,
goal.
exactly.
Mm-mm.
Baliktad yung sa'yo. Like, you wanted to be a businesswoman, but then mainly, when you grew up, you became a musician, which is really cool.
It's crazy because imagine, I know for us who studied in Ateneo, we know this how it was for us. But for
Yes.
people outside, based on what I'm hearing, okay, they just think it's one of the top four, top one, top two school, university in the Philippines. It's hard to get in. It's hard to graduate from there. But yeah, imagine spending 4 years there, and then I just realized I finished legal management, by the way. So that's still under School of Management. It's business.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
pre-law too. I
yes,
guess
and
that's the
then
course I was
mostly
supposed to take.
business. Really? What?
Yeah,
Wait, if
I
you
was
don't
gonna
mind, what course did you take?
music business management. I went
Oh,
to the if you know Mint College.
yes,
So
yes. When
kabatch
you said
ko,
music business management, I already knew it was Mint.
yeah, kabatch ko
I
yung
don't think.
mga like the drummer was the drummer of Ben and Ben was my classmate in school,
Oh,
and then
I
yung
haven't met the drummer in person, but I know people who work
yeah,
with them.
sila Poch, like the guitarist.
Mm.
Tapos sa Ateneo, si Andrew Depano. Like I worked with a lot of musicians. Sila
Familiar,
Clara Benin
familiar.
was also in my school. So
Yes, I listened to Clara.
yeah, so very very like Elise Wang. So a
Oy,
lot of
grabe yung chat. Sabi ko, di ba sabi ko guess my age? Tapos si
I
Chim.
know, I saw
Chim
that.
works with me. Chim works with me. Sabi niya, old enough. We tease each other a lot. Girl, Rosalinda, your knees probably hurt. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember much, but I remember wounding myself with an umbrella. You know how manual the umbrellas
Yeah, yeah,
before?
yeah. Before it's
Yeah.
dangerous things.
So,
Yeah,
because Rosalinda is the one who turns
I
her
know what you
umbrella
mean.
like
The
that.
metal thing
So,
in the umbrella that
yeah.
latches
So,
on, and then
nasugatan ako minsan.
oh my gosh,
So,
it's that one silver part in the black umbrella, and you're spinning it
yes,
around.
that's how
Oh
I
my
got
gosh.
wounded. And
Yep.
I was performing in the house in front of visitors.
Mm.
We have like a mini stage here, and I was there, and then I was doing Rosalinda I am or like yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious. You have so many facets to you being a musician. You had the different phases and stuff. But how do you set yourself apart from other musicians and singers in the industry right now?
Okay, right now it's hard to talk about what I'm gonna release. Maybe later,
Mm.
but based on what I have done already that the public knows, I talked a lot about. I wait one. I wasn't scared to go into a niche genre.
That's good.
So, because I knew, okay, I've been in the industry since 2015, technically 2016 when I started releasing, 2018 ever since I started using Spotify. So, it's been a while. And I knew myself and you, Cholo, as a musician, you know that the shortcut here in the Philippines is love songs, right?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Same
Love
with movies.
songs,
Same with movies. Shortcut for
just
movies.
yeah, rom-com or
Rom-com,
romance
rom-com
or
always.
cheating for TV shows, right?
Yeah.
The dramas.
So
But
yeah, love songs.
that was the shortcut. The thing is, I didn't have a boyfriend up until 21. So, wait, did you get muted? I think you got muted.
Me?
Yeah, oh there.
I was
I
just
don't know.
not talking.
Okay, okay. Sorry. Um so I did not have a boyfriend up until 21. I had flings, but I never really dated up until I graduated from college. My mom
Mhm.
was really strict, okay. But the thing that I really love about songwriting, guys, is that I was able to write songs about others. I could write love songs about others. I could write songs, anything about like what's on my mind or what I'm inspired with. But it never spoke to me, you get me, that I should write love songs. In fact, I don't know, before the term woke became famous, oh my gosh,
Oh my god.
I'm making
You are
myself
carbon
sound
dating
so old.
yourself, girl.
I know, right? I'm not that old. I'm still in 20s, okay? So, and the last year, all 20s. But anyways, um, I was woke, basically. I would talk about like things that I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
So then I loved. Then when I turned into dark pop, actually, like after Nick Lazaro, I moved with Heinrich and Tim from Brysom.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I really, what do you call this? Pushed for more social topics like
Mm.
discriminate. Actually, I already started with that because the first one with Nick Slay, and then Wild Cards, Ceasefire, and Concussion. Everything was about Concussion was about catcalling. There was a rap there, and then Wild Cards. I had a music video with that.
Mm-hmm.
For that it was about LGBTQ,
Mm-hmm.
and then Slay was about getting out of an abusive relationship. It's inspired by my mom and my dad, and then which one is the other one? Slay Wildcard. Ceasefire is about the pressure that was put on me growing up and what the people around me expects me to be. So
Okay.
Ceasefire was like, let's stop this for now. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And even before that, with Paramuna, Paramuna isn't a love song. It's about life, like taking a break from life. So it's
Yeah.
inspired by working students and people who are working for their families. There's Asa now, which I loved working on because it's about corruption actually.
Mm.
If you see the music video, it looks like a love song. And people were tagging their loved ones in my music video on Facebook especially. But it's actually about the Philippines. Dapat Baba is a broken heart like story,
Okay.
but that's the closest to love song. So I guess, sorry, I'm like going around with this. um this the way I wrote songs and how I would get introduced before whenever I have gigs, it would be like I would talk about timely topics within the Filipino community.
Yeah.
So that's what I love to do, and I knew I basically shot myself in the foot with that because it's taking longer for me to reach my goal. But
Mm.
the thing is, I've written everything that I wanted to write about. So I had Huminga,
Yeah.
that was featured on Spotify also. That's about anxiety, Orasan Kailan, about pandemic. Gising Na, I love Gising Na. That's the first song that I had a collab with a rapper, and that's Lawrence. It talked about like breaking from the um breaking away from all the toxic Filipino families, relatives. So that's why it's Gising Na.
You wow,
Because
your topics
I
are
was a
really
people
really
pleaser.
specific, like very
Yes.
specific, but relatable. These are all things that are like
Yes.
experienced by like the average
Mm-hmm.
everyday Filipino, but in different phases of their lives, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So Gising Na, I really, really wanted that to be heard more. It's just I didn't know how to reach more people, but it's out there, and I love that song. Um, it's kind of angry but happy, sassy, and yeah, I was a people pleaser, and I stopped being a people pleaser because I figured out that people just really want to talk bad about you. They would, especially toxic relatives.
Mm.
So yeah. So that was dedicated not just for myself but like for other people. This was written during the pandemic, and then it was on stream actually, live stream on Twitch. I was writing it live,
That's
and
cool.
then yeah. So yeah, those were the songs that I wrote about before, and I basically passed like I don't know. I'm done with that phase of like writing what I want to write about. I feel like the most important things, topics that I want to write about, I'm done with. So
Yeah.
now I I rediscovered my songwriting and myself 2 years ago because my upcoming single, it took 2 years to to release it. And it's more than 2 years now actually.
Oh my gosh.
So
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 there's so much
yeah.
preparation. Like you
It's
found
crazy.
the right time to be able to release it for real.
Yes. It was written in 2022 or around 2021. Recorded in 2022. we filmed the music video, first part of the music video. Actually, today's the anniversary because I just saw the stories,
Oh,
like, 1 year
timely,
ago.
timely, timely.
So yeah, the first part was filmed in a beach, and then the rest of the music video was filmed last year in November. So there's a lot of delay because I have exciting news probably next week. So yeah.
Yun, abangan nyo yan, guys. And yeah, that's really cool because yeah, it's really interesting hearing that you go for these types of topics because again, cheat code is literally going for a love song. But you wanted to write
Mm.
about the topics that interest you and the topics are kind of like your own checklist. And now you can like kind of like go into different topics. Like I know that we're talking about the song later, so you can tell more. Ayun. Now, but I'm curious though you use so much of your time on music. Like, again, it's your main thing now. So, are you like a full time musician? You said you have like the business side as well. So, what do you do on the side?
So I was a full-time musician after I graduated, right? I am very lucky, okay? That is a privilege
Mm-hmm.
that I acknowledge. But around, like, I think around 2019, I started venturing into like selling accessories. Eventually, I partnered up with friends for a footwear business, but I left that. I was one of the founders though, but I left eventually because I wanted to go back focus and in focusing with my music again.
Yeah.
Then last year, I have pimple patch business. So I launched it last year, December 8th. So last year, sorry. My brain, it's already 2025, girl. So yes.
Okay, so that's
But
cool. And that's ongoing now, right? Like it's still
that's ongoing.
okay, cool.
But I also started investing in real estate that I
Mm.
really hope would start earning very very soon. But yes, it's just that the fact, the reality for us musicians is that we don't really earn up until we get there. I
That's
guess
true.
it depends on your goals. My goal is really to, I'm very vocal about this. I really want to make it big. So I want to go mainstream. I want to do it, make it. But some people, they have different goals. It's not all about being popular or being well known around the country. Some people are musicians making a good living because they're focused on gigs. Gigs like wedding gigs pays very well, and then the bar gigs. But I didn't do those things, so I did the harder path.
So more of a recording artist path.
Yeah.
Artist path. That's cool. That's cool. So, but with all this going on behind the scenes, of course, you have your own little business that you're pushing also, and you're working hard on. Like, is it hard to like balance the two, or hindi naman?
With can I mention the business name?
Yeah, for sure. It's
Okay,
okay.
so that's Dodo. That's by Dion. Actually, it's already on chat. Hello, Ellen and Brock. So yeah, Dodo Dots by Dion. Luckily, in the first 2 months, so I launched it December 2023. In the first 2 months, I barely had sleep. Like I remember just having the rest day for the Eve and the day itself of the holiday. So Christmas
Mhm.
Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and New Year's. And then after that, I would just be packing. I did everything. I did sourcing. I did marketing, everything. I did accounting, and then eventually it's just that along the way I met people who were willing to help.
Yeah.
So
So you
it
could
lessened the
delegate
load for me.
tasks. Yeah.
Yes. Because the first 2 months were crazy. It's funny because when I started it, I'm selling pimple patches, right? That's when I had a very bad breakout because I was barely sleeping.
How ironic.
So
That's ironic right there.
yes, and so it actually helped with marketing because then I would have more pimples to cover with the patches. Anyways, it's just the people on the way who trusted me and I trusted them. It was a good working relationship that really lessened the load for me and helped me a lot because I was also traveling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, right now I'm able to balance it more because one of the people on chat actually, but I'm pretty sure that person doesn't want to be
Doxed.
mentioned. Docs. But that person is one of the people who is helping me right now with in terms of like work because I get to focus more on my music. It's a lot of things that I cannot talk about, but it's very very heavy. My music life right now, that is all behind the scenes. It's crazy, right? Like people think that I'm not releasing anything, but There's a lot of work
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
there's a lot of stuff
There
that
is a
goes
lot of
on
work
behind the
behind the scenes.
scenes.
So
Like, like
so
meeting
yes.
people and like basically like the networking. There's a lot. There's a lot. And yeah, so that being said, I'm curious like how has Gank helped you in your journey? Like in like earning as a musician or monetizing your art. Of course, that's what
Look,
Gank is mainly for.
look, I have a big suitcase. Thank you, Gank. Oh
How,
my gosh.
how to do?
That's this one from my earnings from Gank. I got to
Oh,
buy a huge suitcase and a matching hand carry for this.
that's
You know how
cool.
suitcases are expensive.
Yeah, but I'm
So,
curious. And then you can use that for when you travel. You told me that you
yes.
travel
Yes.
when you go to like gigs, right? So how did you earn that? Like, what is it to through donations or?
Actually, the donations that I've only received from Gank, it's because I did a fundraising for my cat. One of my cats, she's upstairs.
Mhm.
But this is her color. That's basically her coco. So, um, and then what do you call this? So some people actually sent their donations through Gank, and so I'm grateful for them. But with in terms of like other earnings like this, actually Gank earnings also helped me with my photo shoot. The photo that you guys used for my pub mat
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
this, the posters for this, it was also funded by Gank. Technically, the earnings from it, not Gank
Yeah.
itself,
Okay,
but
that's
yes.
cool. So
And then,
you were able to use
mhm,
the money that you earned through Gank to put it back into your business, your music business, because of course, photo shoots and stuff is also part
yes,
of the whole
it's
business of
very
everything.
needed. And then yeah, traveling, because I do post a lot of traveling photos. You can actually call me an island girl because I did live on an island. So that's why when people find my photos, it's always like at some point in the year, it's all just beach photos and then
Mm.
traveling photos and then music related or hosting related photos. So it's because we have a house near the beach. So whenever I go there, I would like to stay there for a while. So I would borrow a suitcase from the family. But the thing is, it's not just one person in the family. It's a family. A lot of people share the suitcases. And actually, one of the person here on chat, the one who was helping me with the business, oh, he said I can mention him, Brock. So that's Brock. I had to borrow his suitcases for my trip to the States.
Mhm.
So I was there for 2 months. He lent me two suitcases. And then when he needed it back that really pushed me. Wait, there's Gank earnings, Gank money. I am going to buy now. So so I went to SM and bought my very own suitcases. First time in my life because I always just borrow.
I'm so
So
happy to
yes.
hear that. Wait, but how did you earn? Like, how did you earn on Gank? What did you do?
Okay, so I would post travel photos, like exclusive travel photos. And by
Mhm.
exclusive, I meant photos that were not posted on my other social media.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's from the same. So example, you see my bikini photos or my travel photos online because I'm by the beach, I'm by the pool. Then I would have other photos from that day also taken, and then it's just never get posted publicly. So I would put it on Gank.
Ah, so
So
exclusive
then
content, basically
yes,
exclusive content on
exclusive.
Gank.
That's what I meant by exclusive content. And then so basically, they get to see another side because it could be a more personal photo, like selfie. I love posting selfies. It's more personal for me. And then other photos like mirror selfies or just an OOTD. I like showing off what I'm wearing. And yeah, and people would actually subscribe to support that.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
yes.
That's
So I had
cool.
photo sets, but then actually most of like how I earn it's mostly the subscribers talaga. It's not the photo
Whoa,
sets.
that's nice.
So
Really, really nice to hear that. Actually, subscribers is one of the highest ways to earn on
yes.
Gank. Like in terms of like the Philippines, like a lot of our content creators, even the streamers, even the like the cosplayers, it's the subscription. So thank you so much for using Gank, and I'm really glad. I'm really glad to know that you literally showed me what you were able to get through Gank. So
Yes.
that's cool.
Also it helps me with bills, I swear.
Yeah,
I
it
pay
goes a
I
long
have a
way,
lot
man.
of expenses. Yeah, I have a lot of expenses. So even if like there's barely any subscribers in a month, but it's still coming in. So I have money to use for paying for expenses, you
And
know?
then less to worry about so you can focus on the music. So
Mhm.
it's like the
Yes.
subscribers and your followers are helping you like grow as a musician because you don't have to worry about things like that. Focus on the songs, focus on the releases that they want to hear.
Yes. So
All
yes,
right.
thank you. Thank you to my subscribers. I don't know if they're watching, but thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. Or if not, we're gonna be slipping this episode up into like different little bite-sized pieces and posting it on our social media accounts like TikTok and so on. So,
Some people are mentioning my cat on chat.
to
Yes, that
mommy,
is the mommy. Hi. Oh, she looked.
maybe we can
Hello.
introduce to mommy later too. So,
Yes. Mm-mm.
ayun. So, when it comes to, I'm curious. This is a personal question. I've added this because I'm curious as well. When it comes to creating music, do you have a specific process? Because like when I'm saying process, I'm like for me, I don't write the song first. I usually produce the music first. I like pop music. I like R&B. I like, dancey music. So I make the beats first. I make the music first, and then I sing over it depending on the vibe. I write over it depending on the vibe. What is yours? What is your process?
So, in continuation with what told you about earlier at
Mm-hmm.
Some Forest for my Enlit class, it's simultaneous because I just start singing. I honestly thought it was impossible. I love musicals, but I find it funny sometimes because like who does that? Who would start singing out of
High
nowhere?
School
Like
Musical,
why are
man.
you? Yes, diba? Diba? Why would you start singing to each other? Like who does that? Just stop. Then guess what, guys? I don't know if you experienced it. It actually happened to me. So I could start singing. And during that time that I was discovering it, it's funny. Like, I would sing to her help and be like, Cacerola, Cacerola. Like, about everything. There was a time I was in a taxi along Katipunan, and then I saw a plate number. I started singing the plate number. So, so yeah, it's very natural for me. That's why songwriting is my first love in terms of anything related for career because
That's
I
true.
was always singing. I was always singing. I was always dancing. But in terms of like something skill wise, I would trust my songwriting more than my singing, to be honest.
That
So yes, but melody and lyrics they
always
go
for
together for
okay.
me.
Same time.
But I can adjust also. Sometimes there's just that line. There's that line wherein for example, I said, "Give me your tears, I'll cry for you." It just came into my mind. But then I applied that for my upcoming single actually, but in Filipino because my upcoming single is Filipino. So, I always had those like lines in my head that, oh my gosh, that would be perfect for a song. Then I
Yeah,
would save it. I love writing. I have a lot of notebooks.
I
And
totally
then,
get you because
yeah,
like sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off. You
go
can
lang.
go down. So like before I lose the thought, that's true. That's true. Like sometimes there's just one line. There's one line that just you want to build a song around it. Like personally, when I have my process, like when I'm walking in the street, I just think of a phrase and I'm just humming it to myself. I gotta record it on my phone. I record it
Oh
immediately on
my
my phone as
gosh.
a phrase. Like it's gonna be like, gumagana. Sometimes it's not even a sentence. Sometimes it's just like a melody, right? And I'm just gonna hum it into
Yes.
my phone because I know for sure, even if I'm saying to myself like, "Wow, this is a good melody. This is a good lyric. I vibe with it. I'll remember this forever." I won't remember. I gotta record it because I will forget. So I record it on my phone. And usually back when I was teaching, when I was studying actually, I I remember better. I memorize better when I sing it. Like honestly, and Altair knows this. I can't remember like if you ask me like what month comes after what month, and he's seen me do this so many times. When I need to remember like what comes after January, what comes after like March, I have to sing Lubi
Oh my
Lubi.
god.
You know Lubi Lubi? Yeah, Enero,
No.
Febrero, Marzo, Abril,
Oh
Mayo. Like
yes.
that. I have to sing it, and that's the
I didn't know that's
only
the
way.
title.
Yeah, it's a Filipino children's song. So I have to sing it just to know which month comes after June or whatever comes
Oh my
after
gosh.
like October. I have to sing it always until now to this age.
That's like me with the Chinese dynasties, but that's because my histo teacher in high school taught us to sing a song so we could remember the dynasties
It
because there's a
helps.
bunch.
It helps.
Yes.
It helps. It helps.
But Cholo, I remember I think it was a law class that was like in college because we had four classes lang for legal management na law. So
Mm.
I went to law class, saw my Berkman, and then I would step out just to record audio.
Oh
I think
my.
it's a very common thing. I like imagine my lecture, but then tina-timing ko naman. So it was like perfect timing to step out, and then I would stand there, because it's you know the small garden burk and then the garden thing and then it's the chapel, right?
Yeah,
I would stand there and record myself humming. It's usually the hum
humming,
actually,
the hum.
humming. Yeah, because when I'm writing, okay, so when I'm writing on the spot, like if I write right now, there's probably gonna be words and melody. But sometimes, yung mga, you're not really writing in that moment.
And
You're doing other
inspiration
things.
just hits.
Yes, it's usually the lyrics, it's the melody. So I would start humming. I have a bunch in Cebu. We were in Cebu. I left my old iPhone. I think it was an iPhone 5 in the taxi. You know what? They had to chase the taxi. Like they
Because
had to chase the
all of
taxi.
your
And I was crying not because of the photos, but because of all the recordings.
dude,
So
legit.
they chased after it. It's
That's
crazy.
real. Like I'm looking at my phone right now, and I know you can't see me because I have the stream on, but I can show the stream. Check it out. Like see, like if you're looking at the stream, I have all of these voice notes. So many voice notes. So many. There's like literally hundreds of voice notes, and they're
We
labeled like where I recorded them. Like my house. It literally says Green Hills, Theater Mall, V Mall,
Oh my gosh, same,
Linden,
same, same,
and then
same.
like I have a bunch here. Like the ones I really like, they're labeled like new recording one, verse two, insane. Like I guess that's a process. So if you have any like budding musicians out there, maybe you do the same. And trust me,
It's
like
like this.
you don't want to
Like
show
that.
your yeah, it's
I can't
insane.
show because it shows the location.
Yeah, I know.
But
Well, to
yeah,
be fair, at least
eto
these are
na
both
lang.
free malls.
All recordings 100. Wait, it's so blurry. 113. Pero that's just on one phone. I have
Yung akin
another phone na mas marami.
194. 190.
Yeah. I have an
Oh,
older,
shoot.
like I have two phones. So yung isang phone nandun sobrang dami dun.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
grabe. And
That's
then
cool.
I
That's
a
cool.
lot of unreleased songs pa on my laptop. I have like one folder that's like I don't know 60 gig. Puro music
For music.
files lang.
Because it
Yeah, because
happens. It
nandun yung
happens.
yeah.
There's moments like you record like maybe the verse and then whatever, and then you lose like you lose the parang tatamarin ka, and then you
Yes.
just go back to it after a while. Like you forget that it exists, and then you go through the folder and you're like, dang,
Yeah.
this thing fire
Actually,
actually. Like why did I
mm-mm.
forget about this?
Yeah, actually one of the songs that I'm planning to continue this year for like after this next release, I'm continuing a song. And I totally forgot that I have this song. So, wait, ang ganda nito, bakit di ko tinapos? So like, I should
Mm-hmm.
have finished this song. So yeah, I'm glad we can relate with each other in terms of like creating songs because honestly, it's one of the most, paano ba? I don't know how to describe the feeling of songwriting. It feels like sometimes I would sit down in a corner and I
Mm-hmm.
would pace. I pace a lot when
I
I'm
pace.
writing. I pace a lot. I would suddenly sit down, suddenly space out because I just it's like expressing yourself, but in a very I don't know. It's somewhat ethereal almost for me.
Eureka moment,
Cause
basically. You get a
yeah,
eureka moment.
and sometimes I would have chills, and a lot of the moment, 90% cringe because not all the melodies that come out of my mouth are nice. So it really is like a whole process, and I love it. By the way, in my songwriting, I don't know if you guys also think like that, but whenever I write songs, it's a music video in my head. There are videos.
Oh,
Yes.
I do think like that.
So whenever I read books actually and I start talking about it with friends or to whoever I'm talking to, I would say, "Have you watched the ganon?" That's how I recall. So I'm like, "Wait, that's not a movie. That wasn't a show. I read it." So that's just how my imagination works.
That's
So
so
yeah.
nice. All right, so let's go through the questions. Next one, actually. So, I'm as a musician. What are the usual? So, like for the musicians out there in the comment section, as a musician, what are the usual milestones or like growth indicators you keep for yourself? Like when do you say like, oh, this is enough for me to move on to the next phase? Like is it your song being played on the radio or like is it in the music process, songwriting process? So what's yours?
Okay. Honestly, personally,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of like self-fulfillment stuff, so it's hard to describe it. But in terms of like career-wise or like, my path as a musician talaga, um, it's writing songs, getting it out. And then when you finally have your own Spotify, the gig organizers start giving you more importance, but then it's so easy now to have your own Spotify account, like to have it out there. There's a lot of distributors. I use DistroKid. So eventually it's when you have a music video. And this is based on my experience out.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you have a music video, that's when I started getting paid in gigs. Because I
Yeah,
would go
because
to
it shows
gigs
that you're
before.
serious, you're legit. And
Yes.
yeah.
It's like if you have a Spotify account, even if onti lang yung followers, even if you just barely have um, any followers, listeners, it's like, okay, this person is an actual musician. And I don't want to say that you're not a musician if you don't release it. But if you go to gigs, you don't go to these gigs to cover songs. So it's actually really nice if you have your own songs.
Yeah.
And so when you have your own songs and it's released, then that's something. Actually,
Mm.
the first part talaga is when you write your own songs and then you perform it
Yes.
publicly, that's something because you're not just a cover artist. The next is to put it out there when you can actually monetize it. So Spotify, YouTube, somewhere, or make content with it. The third is the music video because that's really when I started getting paid. And when I say I got paid, it's barely anything, but it means a lot. You know that people, because I had a music video launch. It's something that
You start
shows
somewhere, you know.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, shows more of your musicality
What's
and
the word?
artistry.
They appraise. Of course, it's part of the appraisal as a musician.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
because
But yeah, the music video
the
that
music video
started
talaga
things.
nowadays, especially with our generation, no, very
Mm-hmm.
video centric generation. Like
Yes.
that when I was in college, it was hard to get on Spotify. Like I got on Spotify, but it was through like I had to woo my professor who was a distributor
Yeah.
lahat. But now you have stuff like DistroKid. So now since there's DistroKid, it's a lot easier. So what sets you apart? How do people know that you're the real deal? Because it's a lot easier to get on Spotify, na, diba? It's the music video.
Mm-hmm.
Because music videos are no joke. You need lots of coordination, vision, effort, and the team to be able to execute a
The
music video.
money.
The money,
Yeah.
investment. You're basically, because
Yeah.
DistroKid, ano, maliit lang yung investment na kailangan for DistroKid eh. But then when you
Yes.
show others that you were willing to invest in a music video, that means you believe in your music enough that
Yes.
you're you're investing in your business.
Mm-hmm. It's a business basically. It's
Exactly.
it's yeah, music. I think people just think it's a hobby. It
Mm,
can be a hobby. I
it can
think it's
be.
a hobby for a lot. I think it's a hobby for a lot, but for people that like me who just really wants to make it my future, not many people would really invest that much into music because yun nga sabi ko earlier, you don't start earning properly up until you get that one hit
Mm-hmm.
song.
Same, same with any content
Just
creator,
need
honestly.
that one song. I just need that one song.
It's
So,
any creative, right? Like, but the streamers,
mm-mm,
no pa, streamers start off as for fun. You know, they stream for fun, and they
mm-hmm,
invest in their business. They buy gear, they buy better camera, they invest in
yep,
games that they know are trending, all that stuff. And then it's when you hit that niche and you get that audience that you start earning, right?
yes.
So,
So yeah. What was your question again? Because I was gonna expound more.
the
I
question
forgot.
was, let me okay. As a musician, what are the milestones? And you answered the question
Oh
naman, like
yeah,
the
yeah.
milestones. Tama ka,
Yeah,
tama ka.
but the bigger milestone is that if for me, okay, and this was my recent discovery. It's just that I've been here for a while. I've met a lot of people who've been in Coke Studio, GMA, ABS, big labels. I just know a lot, okay? And they always tell me if you could make it without signing with a label, do it. And it's just that I hit the wall, okay? And that's for me. Some people make it independent. I'm still independent right now. But
Mm-hmm.
some people make it independent and because they're going viral. It's just that I never went viral for my own songs, and because I also started late with creating content. The only time that I really became more consistent with creating content that is not on Twitch was when I started singing with my cat, and my travel vlog and my travel content. Like I would have these random content, like my door that would reach like more than a million. I don't know if you've watched that. Like I had like
I gotta see
a
that.
million and 700,000 views ata on Facebook just because of my door. If you guys are curious, just look for
Yeah,
it.
internet
So
is weird sometimes, man. The
yes.
weirdest
But
things go viral.
anyways, yeah. I hit a wall because because I haven't released songs into any song in 2 years because a lot of things happened. But I was very consistent. Like I would make sure to release a song every year or twice a year, ganyan. But then I'm like I have to wake up. I'm getting older and I'm still in my 20s. I don't want to waste it, and I realized that even though it's ideal to make it without a label, I think I should try it out now. So sometimes you need help from other people, whether it's signing or not, and then or just finding a manager, finding that someone who
Yeah.
would just give you that extra boost. So then that's what I've been doing. So I'm like, okay, I need an extra push because I really put so much
Time and effort.
resources
Yeah.
into this next song. And I feel like if you see the music video, you would understand. If you hear it, you would understand. Like, it's a full rebrand. And yeah, that's like a milestone for me. A milestone wherein I accepted where I am at in my career. And
Hmm.
if I don't do anything about it, I'm gonna get stuck.
It's like a
So,
learning from
yes.
experience. That's so true. That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's Altair, diba? So we always have this conversation that, man, we always do things on our own. We're so bad at delegating tasks because we feel like we're the only ones that can do it. But then once you start delegating tasks and then having people who are better at the task do the thing for you, then you can work more efficiently in everything like that, right?
Yes.
And you can focus on the things you're good at, which is like you can focus on the creation of the music or like your artistic vision. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we've been talking about this new single nonstop all day, tease. So I want to know more about that single. So, can you tell me more about it? Like exactly what inspired it, without giving away too much, because there's a bunch of questions here about it.
What inspired it was I don't know if it was in my room or somewhere else. I think it was in my room. I had this thought that I just wanted to write a song. So I started singing,
Mm-hmm.
and at that very moment, it just felt like the song was going for a happy love song. So I'm like, okay, are we doing this? Actually doing this? But I just kept on going. Then I thought, do people actually start thinking about like manuals? Like, is there a manual for love? And so that's the idea behind it. Like, that's how it started. And that's why I'm gonna reveal the first line. Ganun eh.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. What is it?
May kodigo ba para malaman kung paano mapasayo?
Okay,
Translation. Translation
translation.
is like is there a guide or a manual for me to know how I can be yours?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or a
That's cool.
guide for me to be yours, something like simpler. But yes, and then I just kept going, and the title of our stream, our interview right now, Delulu, it's the main topic now. So that's how it started. It's like, is there a guide for love? Like when you figure out love, and sometimes you just really like someone that you want to know, how can I be
With a
that
person.
person's
Yeah.
person? Yeah, and then the Delulu is the main subject of the whole song. So
Okay.
yes.
I'm pretty interested. I'm pretty excited to hear it on real soon. So, okay. So that's what inspired it. Just like the idea of like the manual, a manual to figuring out love, right?
Yes.
Now, who is this? Okay, who is this song targeted toward? Like, do you feel like there's a certain type of person, or a person? What phase in life would they be in? Who are you targeting for this?
I feel like it's for everyone. Honestly, I mean, who are you kidding if you never had your delusional moment in life?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, when you have a crush, do you not ever think what it would be like to be with them? Because
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole song. It's the Lulu, you're thinking that you're already with that. Okay, just to give you the story of the song. I don't think I'm
Spoiling.
really giving too much about
Okay.
the song, but the whole story, how I continued writing the song is that, or the whole idea, basically, because the guide was just basically the starting point, but the whole theme is basically I saw someone at a club, and this is
Mm-hmm.
not based on experience though. It's just an
All
imagination.
right.
It's not just an imagination, but um, I'm at a club because I told you it's like a music video in my head when I write songs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm inside a club. I see a guy, and that guy does not even know I exist. I just think he looks cute or hot. And then I started daydreaming that I would wake up the next day beside that guy. That's basically the story of the song. And I'm
Basically,
like,
yeah, straight up the Lulu. That is
yeah,
literally
it's being the Lulu and ultimate delusional moment for you to even think that you're gonna wake up the next day with that guy whom you haven't even said hi to. So that's it. That's the story, and I feel like everyone at
Everyone
some
can,
point
yeah. Now I get what you mean. Definitely.
had a delusional moment. That's why I'm so excited about this song.
I am too. Like
So,
this sounds like it's gonna be a fun one, especially with the premise that you just said. Yeah, and then
mhm.
yeah. So how do you plan to celebrate like the launch of this new single?
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of people involved with this that I barely have any idea how it's going to be released. That's why it's being delayed.
Okay,
Um, but ba- definitely there's a music video. There is choreography. I'm doing a TikTok trend for this.
of
Like
course.
there's a choreography just for TikTok, which is also inserted in the music video. And then um I'm hoping for a physical launch, but it's hindi na siya ganun, so people don't usually do the
Yeah, it's not
physical
like
music
physical
video launch.
launches like are very ano na, diba? Like
Yeah. But
calling card
I don't
vibes.
know. It's a rebrand, so maybe we'll have to think about it if it's a good move for me, or maybe I just go back to one of my strengths, which is I go back into doing online things because I've been releasing songs before just through Twitch. Like, I would go live there. So there's a lot of things to figure out with that, but I'm really excited, and definitely I will be promoting it a lot and collaborating with people. Maybe I can collaborate with you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You never know. You never know. Let's see. Let's see. And yeah. And I'm really excited because I really like dancey stuff. I told you. I can't wait to hear this song
Yes.
actually. So, okay. Okay. Before I get into the last question. Well, more of a question, more of a request. I'm curious. Just one more question about Gank. So, okay. You told me about the process of being a musician, how you make songs and how you monetize and how you've grown as a musician thanks to like platforms like Gank. But so, having used Gank before, I'm curious, like, what possible new features? Because of course we have lots of new features for streamers, for
Mm-hmm.
cosplayers, gamers. But as a musician, what possible new features can Gank offer that can further help creators in your field? Musicians.
Honestly, I have I you already actually gave me an idea that you were gonna ask me this, but I couldn't find an answer of anything that will specifically help me as a musician. But if anything, there are two things in my mind, but I don't know if it's applicable. But
Mm-hmm.
one is
Sorry.
basically funding to be able to support and just having an exclusive collab or like a collaboration with Gank, you know? So it's a
Mm-hmm.
give and take thing.
Okay.
The other one would be like incentive wise so that musicians can also earn from it, or maybe what we're doing right now, more of this. I don't know, like getting the musicians featured more, because I know that within Gank there are different fields within it.
Yeah.
you know um I am more on the lifestyle and music, and the others, they do other content. It could be like from streaming, connecting with the community, cosplay, and other stuff like that. But yeah, I just feel like I want to see more of the musician side on Gank, because I don't see it getting featured a lot. So that's for me. That's for
Mm.
me. That there, you can go on Gank and actually can connect with your favorite musicians. I feel like that's a different sound to it.
That's
So
a really good note. Like I just realized now,
yes,
how can we? Because
yes,
musicians don't necessarily focus on like imagery. Not always. It's your
mm-hmm.
musicians, right? But the ones who are mostly in Gank are like streamers. People you see,
Yes,
right?
mm-hmm.
So off the top of my head, maybe like eventually the site can have music playing, like maybe music
Yeah,
from musicians who are using
Friendster.
Gank that are that's playing like as you go, like when you're in the sign up or maybe like the
Mm,
homepage, and then there's like a little label up there like
yeah.
Dion, um,
Funny. I don't know if you heard it, but I randomly
musician.
said, yeah, I randomly said Friendster.
Oh my god, I know what Friendster is. I had well, I was at the
Mm-hmm.
tail end of that,
You
but
know
like
how the
can
music
you
played?
or like MySpace, dude. I used
Yeah.
to post music on MySpace, so like or
So,
Multiply even like just music like playing in the background, and then a little label there saying like Dion, check out this musician on Gank.
or you know how Spotify works, wherein you can put what the song that you're featuring
Mm-hmm.
in your Spotify artist page, and then we can actually put it there, like what we want to feature, so it shows up at the very top, like a small thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have like a tab. I'm currently listening to something like that.
Oh,
I'm
that's
currently
true.
listening to, diba? And it's like
Mm.
it's like a status, you know? It's like a note for the other apps wherein people could see it on top. But then you're listening to music. I'm currently watching. So, you know, it's not just about music, so that the subscribers to your community can actually feel like, oh, we have more common things. You know,
Yeah, things in common. Yeah.
I know what Dion is listening to. I know what Dion is watching to right now. By the way, just to add, when I my earnings from Gank is and my content on Gank, it's not just like the exclusive photos that you can find on my profile, but also the early access. So my subscribers actually have seen snippets of my music video filming at
Oh,
the beach.
that's
They
amazing.
have early access of my shoot. You know, the photos that I've been releasing now.
Yeah.
It was filmed 2 years ago. Like some of it were 2 years ago because we were waiting for this reband for so long that if I release it before, it's just bad timing. You know, it's 2 years early.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that they have early access for, and that's how I do it. Like I want them to basically benefit from supporting me. That,
Yes.
oh,
Like
I
they
get
feel more
to,
connected to you. They
yes,
feel more
I
connected
get
to you.
to see something that Dion hasn't posted yet. So yes, that's something
That's
that I
cool.
like to share.
All right. So, ayun. So, before we end the stream, there's something. So, for I want to see if you could give us a little snippet of the song. Is that all right with you? Would you be willing
Yeah.
to sing?
I mean, I could just sing the first part of the song.
Okay. And can you maybe you could sing because I want to. Everyone's talking about Tomomi. Maybe you can hold Tomomi and let's see if Tomomi likes your music. That would be so
Okay.
cute. So that, like the
I'll have
people who aren't familiar, because it seems like your community is like so familiar with your cat. But then, of course, there are
yes.
other creators and other new
She's more
supporters
famous
here.
than me.
Let's make her more famous. So,
Okay, I will have to stand up and I probably won't hear you because I have to remove my earphones.
totally fine.
Everyone, warning. She might actually get mad just from carrying her. She is very, very moody. That's something people don't understand. She's just moody even if I don't sing. Wait, let me get her.
All right, let's see if she can successfully abduct her own cat.
Oh, she's calm.
She's ready. She's ready.
She's calm right now. She's calm right now. The mommy, kakanta ko ah.
Ready siya, ready
Kakanta
siya.
ko. Yes. Wait, it's the wrong thing. She's staring. She's calm right now.
That's good.
Okay, okay.
All right, so please tell us the name of your song and then give us a little snippet.
So this is now a reveal of my song title. I don't have a release date yet, but it's called Código. So this. Yes, vocal coach to mommy. 1, 2, 3. May kodigo ba para malaman kung paano mapasayo? Did you hear she's meowing?
Yeah, she
She's
likes
mad
your voice.
already.
Well, maybe she's just getting
Okay,
stimulated by
I'll
your voice.
sing. I'll sing. Paano ba? The first part of the verse or the hook? The hook. Wait.
You have to think really hard about it.
Mm, I'm trying to sing my own song in my head.
I was getting into the groove of it, and then it was like, oh, that's it. That's the line.
Oh,
the
ito
line
na lang. Ito, yung start na lang, yung first line na lang chorus. Para bang pinana.
It's so
Yeah,
cute.
no.
Your cat's so cute. And she doesn't want to be
she
handled
gets
anymore.
Mad. Yep.
But
she
yeah,
gets mad a lot.
you have, I love your voice talaga. It's super
Thank
powerful. And
you.
like, oh man, I was getting to the vibe. I got the groove of it from the first line.
Yeah.
And I can't
May
wait. I can't wait
kodigo
to hear.
ba para malaman kung paano mapasayo?
And
It's very malandi.
I'm going Delulu right now, just trying to think about
It's
what the
very
rest of the song sounds
flirty.
like.
Yes.
Ayun.
Please.
So
That's what
yes,
it's all about.
thank you so much, Dion. I really, really appreciate that you were here. And thanks for giving us a little taste of that song. Everybody is excited. I'm excited personally to see
Yes.
the music video. You hyped it
Also,
up pretty much.
that's just here that I actually revealed the song title. I've been teasing the song for a while already. Like, I mean, that I have an upcoming single. But yes, finally, I feel like it's the perfect way to just say this is the song title, Código. So, abangan niyo po yan.
Ayun, thank you
So,
so
yeah.
much. Thank you so much, Dion, for being a part of this. And before I say goodbye and you have the rest of your evening, any plugs for anything like that you wanna
Okay,
promote?
right now, I would like you, everyone here, thank you so much first. Thank you so much for dropping by, listening to our interview, listening to me yap. Yes, I yap a lot. And then, what do you call this? I hope that you're gonna wait for my next single. It will have a music video, choreography. It's my first dance pop and song, and it's my first love song, like a happy love song, and it's my first music video with a choreography. I mean, that wherein I'm the one dancing
Oh
because I
my
had one
gosh.
already before that I didn't dance. It was the other dancers. But yes, I'm gonna be dancing here. Also, if you've listened to my songs before, get ready because this is totally gonna be different. If you've heard my songs before, you cannot compare it with the song that I'm gonna release. And the image that I'm gonna show for this, the visuals, wow. It's gonna be so different that I really would have thoughts of like, what would people think once it gets released? But we're done with the people pleasing phase. Anyways, if you want to see more of my content, I post content with Tomomi. I sing, I share travel content and other stuff. And of course, if you want to support me more, please do check out my Gank. It's thisdione, thisdione. It's the same handle as my other socials. So I'm also on Instagram, X. It's thisdione also, thisdione. Dion, this Dion on Facebook, Dion. What else? YouTube, Dione Ibarra. But it's also just the display name's Dion. I don't know how that works. Anyways, what else? I forgot if ever I have
Yeah, I
other
have the
socials.
links. Don't worry, I have
Twitch,
the links on the description
this
as well.
Dion. Okay. So yeah, thank you for the support. If any of my subscribers or supporters are here, thank you so much. Thank you to Gank. Honestly, like it has been very helpful in supporting my activities as a musician and even just life in general. So yes, thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And you have a good evening. And once again, this was Creator Chats where we talk to some of our favorite and best content creators, anything from streamers, cosplayers, musicians, digital artists, you name it. They're on Gank and they are monetizing their art. And we just want to know how we can do it as well. So thank you so much for sharing everything with us today, Dion. And again, cannot help for the song. I cannot help, cannot wait for the song. Cannot wait for the song. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dion. And you have a good evening. See you guys and good night.
Good night. Bye bye. Thank you.